Hi everyone, Kelly here, and I'm continuing my series about series where I talk about series that I need to finish, series that I want to start and read, and series that I have DNF'd. This is actually part 2 of the series that I really want to start because I had so many books that I already own that I really need to start the series that I split it into adult and YA, and then this one is all middle grade. So I will link the video of the adult and YA series that I want to start in case you missed it. And now I have 10 middle grade series that I want to start. And first of all is the one that's the most shameful, the one that I should have started already, and that is Anne of Green Gables series. I'm pretty sure that at some point in my childhood I read at least like the first book, but I don't remember at all. I mean, obviously I know some of what happens in the series because it's just popular culture, but I have not actually read the series. But I think that Amanda from the Curly Reader and Tia and all of the books are planning a read along in 2020. So hopefully this will get started and finished in 2020 if they do that read along, because I really do need to get to that because that just seems weird that I haven't even started that series. Kitty cat. And then I have Book Scavenger by Jennifer Chablis Burtman. And I think this is a trilogy about like this kind of scavenger hunt for books where there's puzzles and stuff like that. I like books that kind of have puzzles and games, and so I just wanted to give this series a try and see if it's one that I would like to continue. A lot of these are ones that I want, if they're good, I want to collect the whole series for when my kids are a little older, but I have to actually try out the first book and find out. The next I have The Land of Stories. The first book is The Wishing Spell by Chris Colfer. And these are kind of like, I think, about two siblings that get drawn into a fairy tale world through a book of fairy tales, as far as I can tell. And there's a whole series. Maybe there's at least 4 books out, it looks like, in the series. And it sounds like a lot of fun, so I just wanted to give that one a try. And then I have a trilogy, which is The Chronicle of the Dark Star. The first one is Last Day on Mars by Kevin Emerson, and this is about in the future, Earth is destroyed, so people are living on Mars, but then that planet has also been destroyed, like about to be destroyed by humans. So these kids are like the last people still living on Mars, and I guess there's a lot of secrets and things that they find out. And this just seems like a lot of fun as a sci-fi trilogy. And then I have A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle. And this one's kind of embarrassing as well that I have not ever read this series since it's kind of a classic. I do want to get to it, just haven't picked it up yet. So I hopefully soon will try that one out because it seems like at least the first book in the series is a lot of fun. And then I have The School for Good and Evil by Soman Chainani. And I think this is a trilogy, or is there 4 in this series? I don't know. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews now as the series is finishing. But I still want to give the first book a try to find out if I would like the series, because, you know, it does have kind of magical school and fine line between good and evil and all that stuff. So it sounds like something that would be up my alley. But like I said, I've heard mixed reviews. So I own the first book, might as well give it a try. And then next I have The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. I only own the first in this trilogy, his Dark Materials. And I have seen the movie and hated it, but I've heard a lot of people say that the movie is a really bad representation of the series. And my husband did read all 3 of these books and he loved them, so I want to read them. And I got this beautiful edition, which hopefully if I love it, I can find the other 2 books in this edition. And the next one is The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart. I think there's 3 or 4 books in this series, and I think it's about a group of like gifted kids that do kind of like puzzles and games like the Book Scavenger. I don't know, I've heard it's like a lot of fun and just kind of intelligent and stuff like that. This one's a huge one and is why I have not started it yet, because I'm like, this book is so long. It's like over 500 pages and it's middle grade. It shouldn't be that hard even though it's 500 pages. So I just need to get my butt in gear and read it. And the last 2 are only duologies, but I'm going to count it in this series just because I already have the first book. And the first one I have is The War That Saved My Life by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley. And this is a historical fiction about a girl who, I think she has a clubfoot and her mother has been abusive. So she is sent to go live with this stranger. And I think it is during World War II or World War I. I actually don't know which war it's during. It might be World War I. And their time with this strange woman actually is what helps her, because her mother had been mistreating her and stuff like that. So I've heard really great things about that book and that it'll make me cry. So I need to pick it up sometime. And the last one is A Kata Witch by Nnedi Okorafor. And I picked this up because I had read her Benti trilogy and I loved Benti, but I felt like the trilogy went downhill after the first book. But I also am not the hugest fan of novellas that are split into series, where this is a full-size novel in a duology. So I'm really hoping that this one will be better, because I think through Benti, she showed me that she has a great imagination and can create great characters and a world. I just didn't like the way that trilogy worked, and I'm hoping that this duology will be a little more succinct and fun throughout to read. But the only thing I know about this is that our main character lives in Nigeria, so it is an African fantasy or sci-fi. So I am really looking forward to starting this duology. And those are the 10 middle grade series that I would really like to start. If there's one that you really love, let me know so I can bump it up on the top of my list. And hopefully in 2020, I'll get to starting and possibly finishing some of these series. See you next time. Bye.